Welcome everyone to our channel. Now I'm going to talk about the situation of the coronavirus in the world. Global spread of coronavirus pandemic fears. Fears mounted on Monday that the coronavirus outbreak in China will grow into a pandemic with disruptive and deadly consequences for countries around the world. After sharp rise in infections in South Korea, Italy, and Iran. A source of infection outside mainland China triggers step for the national share markets and Wall Street stock futures and the rental flights to safe haven just at gold. Oil prices number in the Korean won fell to its lowest in August. The news flow from the weekend had changed the game somewhat, with the focus this month more than tourist and now break outside of China, said Chris Wetton, head of research at Broker Pepperstone. South Korea for electricity delivery increasingly isolated the number of infections there increased rapidly, with Asiana Airlines and Korean Air suspending flights to the city until March 9 and March 28 respectively. In Europe, French Health Minister Olivier Véran said he would talk with his European counterparts soon to discuss how best to cope with the possible epidemic in Europe. After rightly reported deaths from flu-like virus and 150 infections from just 3 before Friday. Tonight there is no epidemic in France, but there is a problem situation at the door in Italy that we are watching with great attention, Véran told a news conference. Italy is alert of the world. Affected towns and banned public gatherings in much of the north, including holding the carnival in Venice, where there were cases, to try to contain the biggest outbreak in Europe. Austria suspended train service over the Alps from Italy for about 4 hours after the travelers showed symptoms for fever. The train carrying about 300 passengers from Venice, Italy, to Munich in Germany was allowed to continue its journey after the two tested negative for the new coronavirus. Austrian Interior Minister Karl Nehammer said the coronavirus task force would meet on Monday to discuss whether to introduce border controls with Italy. South Korea authorities reported 7 deaths and another 161 new cases on Monday, taking the total 763. Of the new cases, 150 were linked to a church in Daegu. Several these infectious diseases led to its highest level on Sunday after the southern city and nearby Cheongdo County, where infections just last week were designed as special care zones. The escalation in the others level allowed the government to send extra resources to Daegu and Cheongdo for simply prevent public activities and order the temporary closure of schools. The government will be allowed to minimize economic impact and make sure the recovery momentum would not be interrupted as to prepare for the worst-case scenario. South Korean Finance Minister Kim Jong-bom said on Monday. Iran, with among cities for 2 cases on Wednesday, said it had confirmed 43 cases and dead. Most of the infections were in the state. Most of the infections were in the Sinai Muslim holy city of Qom. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, Turkey, and Afghanistan improved travel lanes immigration restrictions on the Islamic Republic. Outside mainland China, where it originated last year, the outbreak has spread to some 28 other countries and territories, with a death toll of around 2,000, according to Reuters told. Stavros and complex. China reported 409 new cases on the mainland, from 640 yesterday earlier, taking the total number of infections to 77,150 cases on February 23. The death toll rose by 150 to 2,592. The vast majority of infections was again in Hubei province. Further evidence that efforts to contain the outbreak in China are working enabling for other provinces to lower their coronavirus response measures. Hubei and its capital, Wuhan, remain virtually cut off from the outside world but factories, businesses and construction sites are slowly reopening in the rest of China after an extended Lunar New Year holiday. At present, the epidemic situation is still severe and complex, and prevention and control work is still the most difficult and cultural state, President Xi Jinping said on Sunday. She highlighted the importance of fighting the epidemic in the capital Beijing, will require people arriving from elsewhere in China to be quarantined at home for 14 days. He said it would have a relatively big but short-term impact on the economy, and Beijing would step up policy adjustment to help cushion the blow. The G20 grouping of the world's top economies called on Saturday for coordinated response to the coronavirus outbreak. The IMF predicts the virus would lower China's growth this year to 5.6% and shape 0.1 percentage point from global growth. It happened when the government is facing growing questions about whether it is doing enough to counter the virus. Authorities had confirmed 773 cases by early Sunday evening. Most of them were from a cruise ship quarantined near Tokyo. The Diamond Princess, a third passenger, a Japanese man in his 80s, died on Sunday. British authorities said 4 people adventured from the ship had tested positive for the virus after being flown to Britain. South Korea coronavirus charged the World Museum closure, marked by spring. South Korea reported 231 new cases of the coronavirus, taking total infection to 833. Health authorities said on Monday, a day after raising its infectious disease led to the highest level. Many new cases have been linked to a church in the southeastern city of Daegu after a 61-year-old woman known as Patient 21, who attended survived their tested positives. The Korea Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, KCDC, said it reported at the 710 deaths, both from a hospital in Cheongdo, a country where confirmed cases just in recent weeks, along with nearby Daegu. If we cannot block the spread in the Daegu region in an effective way, there are high possibilities it would lead to a nationwide transmission. Right Health Minister Kim Kang-lim told a regular briefing. Almost all major cities and provinces reported some infections. Authorities are still investigating the exact cause of the new outbreak, with Patient 31 having no recent records of overseas travel. Kim said the government has ordered self-quarantine and was testing about 9,500 people who chose survive at the Daegu branch of the Shincheonji Church of Jesus, also known as the Temple of the Tabernacle of the Testimony, attended by Patient 31. When raising its alert level on Sunday, South Korea voiced to rein in public activities and provide extra resources for Daegu and Cheongdo, designated last week as special care zones. President Moon Jae-in said the government should start reviewing the need for supplementary budgets to blunt the impact of the coronavirus outbreak on Asia's large economy. In addition to swiftly deploying the emergency fund set aside, the government should review drafting of the supplementary budgets. Moon told staff first time and medical experts at a meeting. In Daegu and elsewhere, citizens flocked to supermarkets and pharmacies to buy surgical masks and supplies, with medical showing images of hundreds lining up in front of image stories Daegu and from as early as AM. Political and cultural events set for this week have been cancelled, and the Culture Ministry said on Monday 24 national museums and libraries will temporarily close. The National Assembly cancelled a plenary session on Monday and called a session on Thursday to question the government. After release, Sri Lanka were checked following contact with an education officer who tested positive for the virus. I hope you like this and just like and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching and see you later in the next video.